Hello there. We are getting ready for the first men's quarterfinal, which is the second here at the glass court, the V A Waterfront, for the Growthpoint SA Open. I am thankfully joined for the second match of the day by South African squash legend, Clinton Liu. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, B. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what can you tell us about these two individuals, Blessing and Tristan?
Blessing I haven't seen much of, but I watched his game yesterday. He really maintained his focus. He pushed hard, and he grinded out a tough match. So it's going to be interesting to see how he recovers. And obviously the glass court is something different. It's a different court, and the ball behaves differently. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles it. Tristan, I've hit with him a couple of times. He's based in Vancouver, I believe. I think he's going to be tough to beat on this court, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, both guys had five game matches yesterday, and I saw that Tristan was 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And then won one of his games 15-13. So it's he obviously knows how to fight back.
Yeah.
So if he's down in this game, he can obviously fight back at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tristan, he's played on the tour a couple of years now, so he's battle hardened, so he'll know what to do.
Okay, we're just doing some mic positioning.
Yeah, very inexperienced by me. I'm used to being on court and not behind the scenes, you know.
Well, that's why I got you here. I need someone who's been on the court. I can't remember the last time I played a squash match. But that first. How much of the first ladies' game did you watch?
Unfortunately I missed it all actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm sad. But, how did Alexa play?
Well, look, she went down 3-love, unfortunately, for South Africans. But she had her moments, and you know what? Every one of these games is a learning experience.
Yeah.
So there you go. We're about to get underway. Blessing Muhwati from Zimbabwe against Tristan Eysele, as he told me a few minutes ago.
Eysele.
And we're underway in this all-African affair here at the tip of Africa.
I think both players now just getting used to the court, trying to find some length. Tristan with his first error there. I think, as usual, in the first time playing on a glass court at home, really, he's going to just, it's a little bit of nervous energy that they just need to hit out.
Yeah, you can immediately see the extra power that the guys have.
Great tight shot. So that's one of the things about playing on this glass court. The tighter you hit, the wall really rewards you. So if you can find your line and length early, you'll get a lot of rewards here. Case in point, Blessing hitting a very, very good line, finding the back neck.
The guy's keeping it tight on the left.
So already, I'm feeling like Tristan's length is a little bit too short. If you notice, it's always middle of the service box or just back of the service box. And if you notice, Blessing is just using a little bit more height and getting the ball to touch the back wall more. See, short again. Blessing's always the one getting the ball through, so if Tristan wants to win this match, he's got to really adjust his length.
Blessing is, of course, the current 3-time national champion in Zimbabwe.
Just hasn't looked like Tristan's settled yet, but also Bless. Oh, great line. Is that what they call the commentator's curse?
Yes, exactly. It happens to me often.
Oh, great line again. Good turnout tonight. I think, squash in Cape Town has been hungry for some good world-class squash. I don't think we've had a tournament in a while, in a year or two. So, and the waterfront's such a great venue.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much to Growthpoint for putting on the spectacle at the V A Waterfront, and of course putting in the money that makes this possible.
Great volley. Blessing's really pushing up on court and making it really hard for Tristan to get the ball past him. I think he's sensing that Tristan hasn't found his length yet, so he can afford to push up just a little bit, just to cut out the angles. Again, great use of height by Blessing. Nice shot from Tristan. So I think you know, the way forward for Tristan is really putting in rallies like that. I think he found his length a little bit better, and then was able to squeeze Blessing into a loose shot and then onto the volley.
Now Blessing is quite a bit taller than Tristan, 187 compared to 175. What difference will that make?
I mean, I think on a glass court, sometimes it does have its advantages having a big wingspan. You think about one of our other legends, Steve Coppinger, who's about 2 meters tall, so it makes it so hard to hit the ball past him. But then on the other hand, you know, tall guys struggle to get low in the back corners and in the front, so that's something that you can try and exploit. But that's the nice thing about squash, I feel, is you know, there's no real body type. Every body type has its advantages and disadvantages, strengths and weaknesses. So, you know, Tristan, you could see, is pretty zippy around court, can change direction really quickly. Great tight shot. I think that's one of the weird things about playing at a shopping mall. You know, is like if you hit the ball out, sometimes you spend 2 or 3 minutes trying to find the ball. You know,
especially if you've got an escalator going down. Thankfully, we don't have that. As you can see, the crowd building up nicely here at the V A Waterfront. The guys not knowing what to do with themselves as they wait for the ball.
I wonder if guys will ever use this. It would be interesting to see maybe in the finals if the guys will use this as a tactic. You know, deliberately hit the ball out and get that breather.
Right. If you're down a few points,
yeah, exactly,
to get your thoughts together. By the way, what ball will they be using this week?
So the white ball is specifically designed by Gala for the glass court, and I think it's different to the one that they used at Nationals. Nationals, because it was in Pretoria, they used the altitude ball, which is it's a thicker rubber, so the ball's a little bit deader and heavier. Whereas at the coast, you just use the regular ball. It's just going to allow you to, you know, the ball's already slow at the coast because the conditions are pretty cold. So, yeah, it'd be really difficult to play with the altitude ball.
Wow, it is taking time.
I wonder if one of the kids isn't just pocketed the ball as a little souvenir and then.
There we go. Looks like a new ball's been thrown on. We're going to have to warm that up slightly.
I suppose this is, if there's ever a time to switch the ball out, it's now. You know, it's the first game, 6-all in the first game, so no player really has the advantage. I'd probably say this will favor Tristan a little bit. He was gaining momentum and he's just seeming a little bit more settled now. You know, but I've been really impressed with Blessing. Showed real good composure, good mental strength yesterday in his match. So it'd be interesting to see how he responds to this little break in his schedule, if I can put it that. Yeah, I think especially you know, when you playing outside, obviously squash is often played indoors, and you know, most buildings the heating is controlled, but playing in an outside court like this, you know, I can already feel it's a little bit chilly here, so the players will definitely be feeling that.
Well, according to my phone, it is 14 degrees.
Yeah, that's chilly.
For those listening around the world, that is Celsius. If it wasn't, we'd be freezing.
Yeah, definitely be needing some blankets and coffee and everything, you know.
You know a little something about really cold temperatures in New York.
Yeah, it does get a little nippy, if I can call it. It's a little nippy there. Yeah. So that's the other thing about a glass court. You often find, you know, the neck at different parts of the court. You know, you can find winners at different parts of the court. Usually on traditional courts, it's usually just in the front neck and the back neck as a rule of thumb. But here you saw in the previous point, Blessing got the neck like back of the service box. You know.
So 9-7 to Blessing here. Tristan pulls one back. 9-8.
Tristan not getting that width. So you see again, like, oh, there you go. Just a back wall, neck back of the service box, you know. And I think those are the shots that have really kept kept the pressure on Tristan. Whenever he's trying to get some momentum, Blessing is able to just sneak a little point, so Tristan isn't really able to really build and sustain pressure, you know, which is so important in this game. Let call by the ref.
Yes, let there, replay.
Ref obviously feeling that the ball was high enough, and Tristan could have got that if had Blessing not been in the way. Again, almost another back wall neck. Big point for Tristan to stay in this game, and I think, you know, especially in a tournament, it's a quarterfinal match. You want to make sure that you get the first game, you'll settle the nerves and come back. You know, it's a huge psychological advantage to get the first game. See Blessing pushing up there. It's better length from Tristan. Blessing really like probing the sidewall necks. Good patient play from both of them.
Nice long rally here. Tristan changing direction.
A little bit of interference. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, interesting call. I thought that ball was pretty tight against the sidewall. But yeah, I'm sure Tristan isn't too disappointed with that call.
Still
you
game
can
ball
see
for
like
Blessing.
Good camaraderie between the two players. You know, bit of. Oh, I think that should be a stroke. Yeah. Okay.
Tristan running right into his swing arc. And that's it. Blessing Muhwati takes the first game 11-9. Nice and close. Let's hope it continues throughout this match. I mentioned you're in New York for a lot of the year. Just tell us how you ended up there and what your role is at New York Athletic Club.
Yeah. So I played a couple of years on the tour, and then I was when I left Cape Town, I moved to Germany, joined the tour and started playing there, and from Germany moved to the US to go and coach, you know, so in the latter part of my career. So ended up at the New York Athletic Club, where I'm coaching club members and yeah, so it's been fun. It's been a bit of a transition from being a player now to a coach, but I like what I'm doing, and it's good. I still play a bit of doubles. That's when you know you're old, when you're playing doubles, but it's a fun game and really enjoying it.
Now I know I did chat to Rodney Durbach about this at Nationals, and in America for a long time racquetball was the big sport, but it seems like squash is really taking hold.
Yeah, racquetball was pretty big in the early 80s, and I think softball squash kind of started slowly taking over, and I think as the game expanded in Europe and Africa and all around the world, the US finally started getting an interest in, and yeah, it's taken off now.
And the USA has more top professional events these days as well.
Yeah, it's a big market for squash. You'll find a lot of top players out there, and all spectrums. Some that are just developing, and most of them have retired and are coaching at clubs.
And here we go, second game underway. Blessing takes the first point.
Great line from Blessing. It seems he's more settled. Tristan making a couple of silly errors early on. He really needs to build momentum if he wants to stand a chance of winning this game. It seems like he hasn't adjusted his length yet. It's the first good one. He just needs to keep building that pressure, because otherwise Blessing is just going to keep picking him off. Great shot.
I did notice that Blessing's kind of a man in a hurry, especially on the serves. He doesn't waste any time, get straight in there.
Yeah, I think that's a good, especially on this glass court, it's a good tactic. Once you got somebody under pressure, you want to make sure that you keep them under pressure, and so that they don't get a sniff, and that's where the mind games start. If he's 3-love down, 4-love down, then all of a sudden he's going to feel like, oh, it's not my day, and how do I get out? Blessing's playing well, so it's going to be interesting to see how Tristan handles this. Yeah.
4-love up for the Zimbabwean.
So this is really great for Blessing. He's 1 game up and 4-love up, so he's definitely looking more comfortable, very relaxed, not forcing, very patient, not playing. Yeah, very comfortable.
Blessing, of course, did beat Abdul Rahman Abdul Khalek in yesterday's second round, winning that 3-2. So no lets there.
Bit of a tough call. I think the referee might have felt that Blessing should have made a bit more effort to get to the ball. Great shot from Tristan. The problem that I have with the way Tristan's playing now is he's taking all the risk. He's always the one going short first. He's not building pressure, so it gives me the impression that he's not settled. He's playing a little bit panicked. You'll see he's probably the one always trying to go short first, as opposed to realizing, it's not really it's just about halfway through this game. So he's got time just to build pressure. He might have lost the first half, but he can get it back.
Tristan picking up another point.
Great shot from Blessing.
Tristan gets there.
Both players doesn't seem like they're showing any signs of fatigue from their five set matches yesterday. So 4-5, Tristan has pulled it back. To me, it seems like now the guy that's going to win is the one that's going to be more consistent. I guess that's true for all sport, but especially now, it's, one guy loses 5 points in a row, the next guy wins 5 points in a row. So if Tristan can build on this, or if Blessing can get it back,
It almost seems like Tristan apologized for that winner just now.
Yeah.
Might have hit the frame.
Yeah. I mean, that's good to see. Like, the players playing it, the game in good spirit. Squash can get a little bit testy because, it's two testosterone-fueled guys in a small box hitting a ball as hard as they can, so it can get a little bit testy. But these guys playing it in real good spirit. Oh, great shot from Tristan.
When you explain it like that, it sounds like a cage match.
Yeah, exactly. It's MMA with rackets. And, yeah.
Oh, Tristan, suddenly a nice stretch of points here.
I think that's always the danger, I think a little bit of traffic there. I think that's the fair call. I think Tristan's shot was it came off the back wall a little bit, so Blessing would have gotten that. So if you notice now, Blessing is the one who's dropped his leg just ever so slightly. It's getting... That should be a stroke. Yeah.
Tristan not happy with that call.
Yeah, I think he's more a bit more upset with himself. He should have played a better shot. So I think he's just trying to take it out on the ref a little bit. Yeah. So it looks like Tristan's just really taking a little extra time. It should be a stroke in my opinion. There you go.
Good call, Mr. Lou.
Maybe I'm a better ref than a commentator, But to me, this is the crucial time. Like, Tristan should really just look at this and look to start building pressure. 1 point at a time. I think that was Blessing's mistake. He got the first couple of points way too early or too quickly, and he thought that was going to be the pattern of the game, and then Tristan just kind of like slowly built some momentum. A little bit of a lapse in concentration on that shot. Tristan hit a really loose shot, and Blessing should have just got something on it and just put it, he just ended up putting it in the tin. Kind of like how I play, actually.
So the right way. Oh, delicate.
Great shot. Good composure by Tristan. Often in those situations you can hit the tin because you got so much time on the ball, so you end up trying to do too much. But good composure by Tristan, just making sure executing the right shot.
This is game ball.
Good use of height. Tempo's increased by Tristan. So again, I feel he's just trying to go short a little bit too soon, and this court is so severe. If you don't get it right, your opponent can counter you very well and quickly, and then you struggle. There you go.
And that is it. Tristan Eysele taking the second game 11-7 to draw the match level at 1 apiece. Looks like this is heading for another 5-gamer. Both guys did get through their second round matches with 5-game epics. So plenty of squash for these two over the last 2 days.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Like at 1 love up and 5 love up, you would think it looked like Blessing was really going to cruise through, and I just felt that he let it go a little bit, just try to force a little bit too much. And then I think Tristan got a couple of lucky shots just to get him going. I think two necks and a call from the ref, and that just helped him build momentum. And it's going to be interesting to see how he responds when he gets back now.
In case you missed it, our first match here on the glass court for the week was the first ladies quarterfinal. Third seed Egyptian Mena Hamed beating South Africa's 8th seed Alexa Pinar 3-love. And following this match, we will have the second ladies quarterfinal, an all-Egyptian affair between first seed Salma Yusuf and 7th seed Farah Momin. And then the last match of the day will be the second men's quarterfinal between first seed Lucas, how do we pronounce his Serm?
Yeah.
Serm, okay. There you go. Lucas Serm against unseeded Abdallah Al Masri. So the Frenchman versus the Egyptian in the second men's quarterfinal. The other 4 quarterfinals will be tomorrow, and the semi-finals on Friday, with the finals on Saturday. Saturday's match is starting a little earlier at 3:30, but all matches getting underway at 5:30 on the first 3 days here at the V A Waterfront. And we're underway in the third game between Tristan Eysele and Blessing Muhwati, this all-African affair.
Great line from Blessing, really pummeling that ball hard and low cross court, and well beyond Tristan's reach. So I think the first person to really assert their dominance, find their line and length, get that ball to touch the back wall, is going to be crucial. And then once you've established that line and length, you can look to start building some more pressure, more consistent pressure. I think that should be a stroke, yeah.
And a stroke there to Tristan, 2-1. The ball running almost along the rail there.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting. I think often what happens, especially when playing outside on an outside court and on the glass, especially with the white ball, it tends to soften up a lot. So the ball's going to be deader. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think Tristan's picked it up, and that's why he's going short a little bit more. But again, you've got to still find that balance, because if you're going short too much, your opponent's going to definitely counter you.
Blessing another point, 3-4.
So again, quite seesaw, in the second game, Blessing was 5-love up, and then Tristan came back, and then Tristan was 4-1 up, and now it's 4-3, So I guess it also highlights the severity of this court. So if you don't hit your shot exactly right, you just set it up nice and easily for your opponent. Great control on that drop shot from Blessing. Really opened the face on that one, just made sure that he got underneath the ball and didn't hit the tin.
As I mentioned earlier, there you go. Blessing wrong-footed there. Tristan takes the lead again. Oh, not a great return from the Zimbabwean. Eysele takes a 2-point lead, 6-4.
If I was coaching, Tristan, actually both of them, I'd probably give them the same advice, because it seems like they're both prone to the same kind of mistakes, is once you get 1 or 2 points, just look to build pressure. Tristan catching the back wall neck there, because your opponent is definitely going to try something and is going to give you points if you can just be the one that stays steady and hang in there. So Tristan hits the neck and then hits the tin. But luckily for him, he's still got I think a 1 or 2 point cushion. A little bit more patient. Oh, great trickle from Blessing.
6-7 to Muhwati.
Almost catching the back wall neck again there, Tristan. Great shot, great shot. So really constructing the points, well, that point in particular, he constructed that really well.
Two-point lead for the South African.
Great shot.
That was pinpoint accuracy from Tristan.
It's a good time to go 3 points up, you know. 9. Oh, great shot.
Just in the nick of time.
Yeah, exactly. Well-placed pun there.
Game ball. You could take a 2-1 lead here.
Great shot. Blessing not giving up.
Two back for Blessing.
Another game ball saved by Blessing. So often what happens in squash, well, I can only speak for squash actually, I don't know about the other sports, but in this situation, Blessing being 10-6 down, I believe, you know, he's got nothing to lose, so he kind of relaxes the shoulders and just is a bit more positive and doesn't really think about, he just trusts himself a little bit more because he's on the back end of a couple of rallies, you know. So that often happens is guys claw back 2 or 3 points and, you know, and Tristan obviously just wanting to win the game tightens up a little bit. So Blessing again.
Totally wrong footing him there. That's 3 in a row for the Zimbabwean. And now you go from nothing to lose to I can win this game.
Yeah. Obviously a really big point for both players. Tristan really wanting to get off court quickly and get that 2-1 lead. Oh, unlucky.
Blessing very disappointed in that shot. He hands the third game to Tristan Eysele, who takes a 2-1 lead. You, of course, played on this exact court. It's funny to say that you played on this court at Brooklyn Mall in the SA Nationals. For those that don't quite understand, what's the difference in Nationals and the Open?
So Nationals is basically is just for South Africans. It's you know, it holds a lot of pride and prestige in any community. I mean, like any sporting community, any team, player, athlete wants to win their national title. So it's just it's only for South Africans. And then the SA Open, it's a PSA event. So as you can see in the draw and by the names, you got players
so as you'll see there, a PSA Challenger Tour 10, and the ladies is a Challenger Tour 5.
Yeah, so you'll get players from all over the world, and this is one of those tournaments that they use as a stepping stone to getting ranking points, and then they can get into the bigger events, and you know, so everybody has to start at these events, you know.
An important factor here is that the winner of the men's and women's tournaments get an invite to the World Championships later this year. So that's why you see a number of internationals coming down here, because they might not have enough ranking points to qualify for the World Champs, but they get that wild card entry if they win this event.
Yeah, obviously I think that's what a lot of these guys are playing for, and it's like, you know, the World Open would be the equivalent of, you know, like squashes, maybe Wimbledon or
Right.
US Open. So it's a big thing.
The men's PSA World Championships will take place in Egypt, and the women's in Qatar later this year. This is the first of the Challenger qualifiers, as far as that's concerned. Apologies for the silence there. Just had to change a couple of batteries, but thankfully we've got crystal clear pictures here, and sometimes the pictures do say 1,000 words.
Pictures, it says it all. Tristan 5-2 up, and taking this game by the scruff of the neck. You know, really not allowing Blessing to get back in it. Should have asked for that one. I don't think they're going to give him a stroke for that, which is what he wants.
And there was a yes let.
Unfortunately, I think that was the wrong call. Tristan attempted to play it and missed, and then asked. So it should actually have been a no let.
So 5-2 to Tristan. Of course, a no let, so no point there. 3-5, Blessing gets one back. Of course, Tristan is leading 2-1 in terms of games. So if he wins this, it will be match over and entry into the semi-finals of the Growthpoint SA Open, taking place here at V A Waterfront.
Tristan with the backhand straight drop from mid-court. Kind of really getting Blessing wrong-footed. So as you can see, with the ball softening up, Tristan really attacking the front two corners, because the ball stays really, really short. And on the PSA Tour, all these international events, the height of the tin is 17 inches. I don't know how high that is in centimeters, but as a result is you can hit the ball lower and the ball stays shorter, which makes going short, if you can go short very well, it makes it so hard to get the ball back, and it really gives you an advantage as a player that hits the ball short or plays a lot of drops. Let me rephrase that.
If that is the way you play, would you literally practice hitting a little mark just above the tin as many times as possible?
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing on the glass court, you wanna balance between hitting low and tight. If you just focus on hitting low all the time, then you're kind of taking all the risk, because you're the one, kind of gambling with the great touch from Tristan. So you'll often practice shots like that, which is your finishing shots. But so there's a fine balance. Tristan had a lot of time, so he can get his racket going through and underneath the ball. But when you don't have time, you still need to go short, so you wouldn't be going so low on those ones.
We've reached the point in the evening where the schedule will start changing. The ladies' quarterfinal was scheduled to start at 7. This match has gone over slightly because they're on a 4th game. So there won't be much of a break between this match and the next.
So this is quite a big point now. So I think psychologically, if Tristan can get to 10 first, he's really going to keep that pressure on Blessing. Whereas if Blessing gets a couple of more points here, he's going to really, switch the pressure and put it back on Tristan, because, there you go. I think Tristan, yeah.
And it's match ball for Tristan Eysele from South Africa in this all-African affair here at the Growthpoint SA Open. Oh. Refs generally on the side of yes, let's on match ball.
Yeah, I think so. Nobody wants to. Oh.
It hits the tin, and that is it. Tristan Eysele wins the 4th game, 11-5, to take the match 3-1. After Blessing Muhwati won the first 11-9, he then won the next 3, 11-7, 11-9, 11-5. And next up, in a couple of minutes' time, will be quarterfinal 2 of the ladies. Number 1 seed Salma Yusuf against countrywoman number 7 seed Farah Momin. Clinton, thanks so much, and I will see you for the men's quarterfinal, probably at around 8 o'clock at this point.
See you soon.
Thanks a lot.